There's barely any time for me to stop and catch my breath. I saw a suit charger on the wall, but he couldn't stop moving for even a second. What a terrible idea, buddy. That suit is like half of your hit points. A lot of ground to cover as press further into the facility. Don't you eventually go to a section where you're like in the old part and they have like different HEV chargers or something like that? I always like that bit. I always like that bit a lot. So I managed to push open the fire door. It really was a task keeping move forward. Pressing through a horde of ceiling traps hanging from the ceiling, dangling catwalk, teleporting crab things. Feels like we actually. Yeah, oh, the half finished bridge. At least till we come to a fork in the road. Looking through a hallway starts is pretty easy to make. One of the turrets like. I don't recall this. Where is this? Go down the room with the boxes. When they're given the choice. Playing limbo didn't work well last time. I think we'll pass on that. Go down the hallway. Olivia fiddled nervously with a gun behind my hand. Can't help but share the idea with the assault rifle in my hand. So it's so foreign to me, and I'm real sense of what it could do, whatever you've done. How do you set the safety on this thing? Oh, it's a realization that she already forgot it's equal parts annoying and scary. A carelessly pointed gun to the back of my head isn't a happy one. Like, just in case. I stop, turning back. Oh, I think the reason they put so many soldiers there so some of them could run away and be like. Because in the game, I don't think it's ever explained how they find out it's Freeman specifically, other than like maybe the surface section, where they scare you off. Like, otherwise, you do leave like only bodies in your wake. Check in! Without a beat. I freeze, snapping my rifle up. This doesn't grasp me, but don't give much just to listen in. Why are you hearing this? Whose walkie-talkie is this? Telling you, he just came out of nowhere, man. What are you saying that a civilian came out of nowhere and started slaughtering you guys? Exactly, some sort of bulletproof assassin. You literally have bulletproof assassins, you assholes. Sergeant, he's being serious. Sarge, he's being serious. Whoever this guy is, he's no regular egghead. A different voice pipes in, adding to the argument. My eyes flick to Olivia, who's like, what the fuck? And Gordon's like, I guess that's weird. Oh no, they were above us. Despite the relatively small ways we walked into, the room opens up to a larger vertical warehouse that spans two separate levels. Oh, is this the one where the fucking where they go into the conveyor belt? Fine. Whenever we're gonna look out for the orange man. I don't want to deal with no orange men. My eyes snap back to the voice so they can too. Crap! Now they're specifically looking for just us. Yeah, that's because we need more attention. That's what we need. More attention. My green passenger thankfully agrees that the silence is the best answer, electing to back out of the room. What now? We can't go the other way, and I don't see any ass in this room. Realize arguing in mute isn't the smartest idea. She does keep her mouth shut. Conveyor belt. Oh yeah, this is the stupid conveyor belt room. I think you go down this, go into a room of boxes with a charger and a healer, and then you can go up. You go up another conveyor belt, and then you see a guy behind like a who's for some reason like watching the conveyor belt. I'm very confused by that man. Uh, No doubt that someone will hear us. Mercifully, the mat dash goes off without a hitch. In fact, once we're on the belt, everything gets a bit interesting in the sense it feels like one of those moving walkways in the mall I used to like riding on. I like that you have some preferences there, Gordon. All right, otherwise, short, quickly spitting us on a room with more boxes. Why did they even have a fucking conveyor belt at that point? Muttering a silent access to soldier, look around, spot another belt. And that belt requires you to climb some boxes for some fucking reason. All right, okay, Gordon, slow and steady. Olivia yells, "Careful! I just almost lost my gun! Olivia, please, just hold a firm grip. You're not doing anything else." Too late to go back now, though. I appreciate that he's like, wait, I went to the vents alone. Why is Olivia? Then again, to regret that. The whole idea, me scaling several tall boxes with a bare exercise, was the smartest thing of gives. Maybe I shouldn't be climbing a mountain with a lady on my back. My boot fell on one of the tallest box riders. Were there like several head crabs here? So the whole thing began to wobble wobble. Finding a balance with a 200-pound alien wasn't the easiest thing. Top of the crate feels like an unsupported ladder as I stick my arms out and try to balance. Behind me, a horrid hum slips out of my passenger seat, tightly clings across my back. Finding barely enough, a steady enough balance, I brace myself and make the jump across. Okay, this is it. Deep breath. So I take a running leap. 1, 2, 3. Bing. I do appreciate that Black Mesa made it so that the pit only requires you to push one button. It's just a weird thing to get caught up on, man. A massive blinding and deafening flash explodes next to my head, throwing off my entire jump. Ah! Oh yeah, it's the uh not fun. Crack. Beep beep. Warning. Minor fracture detected. Chest first into the hard concrete. Dude, how the hell do you not hit your face? Feeling like a little kid just fell off his bike and is calling out for his mommy. mercifully, they start to go into actions. However much can give with his limited charge, but welcome nonetheless. Then go back to my medical station and get pumped up again, buddy. Notice up, I look around. Yeah, so coming together as the swirling in pain ceases. I feel like over time your body would, like, you're gonna get addicted, buddy. Weapons check, ammo checks, glasses check, grumpy Gator. Wait, suddenly hits me that my passenger's missing. Where the hell did she? I jump at the sudden hail of gunfire echoing into the room. To my relief, it didn't come from inside. Actually, weird that it sounded like it came from above me. Piecing together the source of the sound, I glanced up at the elevator, tried to hop on. Oh no! Olivia went on the on the conveyor belt and got shot. I bet she came out, right? And she was laying down like one of those French ladies, using her sex appeal to buy just enough distraction that the soldier was like, humana, humana, and his eyes would pop out of his head. That gives you the perfect chance for an eye shot. And at that point, it's just easy pickings. Oh no! Again, this oh no feels so understated. Practically scrambling on my hands and knees, I rush back up the boxes. Silent swear occurs to make even Barney blush. Man, Barney. I like Blue Shift because you hang out with the scientists and stuff, and you go through spaces, and they feel like logical spaces, and it feels like you're, like, trying to do something, you know? And there's a lot more enemies teleporting in, which really adds to the tension, whereas opposing force is so much more, there's just dudes there. The boxes threaten to tip and fall once more as I clamber up one by one. Sound of my heart pounding in my ears practically throws all concern out the window. With a swooping leap, I get in the tallest box. Dude, you don't have to over-describe this man climbing the boxes he already climbed. She can't die, not when we're this close. After a few more sharp turns, I have to lighten the other end instead of my breathing. One last turn, shotgun let up, peppering the form. I don't have time. Before I get against the wall, paint hiss comes through as I scramble back out of my feet. Look at them. I missed! The soldier's standing right there next to me. Both of us locked immediately. Shock seemed paralyzes until it lynches. Oh, what? Wait, what? We're doing a melee fight? Where the hell's Olivia? Did she terrify this man to death? Both of us lock eyes immediately, the shock seemingly paralyzing us. I was genuinely thinking for a minute there that he was dead and he was just propped upright. And I was like, oh, nothing's going to happen. Fuck, we're in an action sequence. The shotgun is knocked out of my hands where a solid crack crossed my face as we stumbling back. That's impressive that he does that in one fell swoop, but I guess he is a military man. My head pounds, the stars fill my vision. Before being met with a sea of camo netting. Before I could reach up at the pistol of my hip, the Marine lunges, driving his shoulder to my chest and knocking me to the steel-grated floor. I appreciate that we're in this really weird environment. Like, this is such a weird fight. There's just a dude behind sandbags looking at a conveyor belt. I guess the point is anyone who tries to climb out of the little turret gully, but it's just weird, man. The air violently leaves my lungs slam down. The HEV whines in protest. I throw my arms up, catching the descending combat knife by the wrist. Be careful, that barely ever works. He's incredibly heavy, not to mention terrifying. He's loaded with bullets, man. He's heavy. Featureless green lens of the gas mask inch from my face. Why would he be this close? Keep your fucking distance! Filtering ragged, adrenaline-fueled breathing. I push back, banking on the suit's motorized joints to give me the edge. For split seconds, it feels like I have him. With a muted grunt, I manage to force his knife arm upwards, twisting my hips in a desperate bid to throw his weight off of my center. But despite my hazard course training, it's a little detail I forgot. I'm a theoretical scientist, not a soldier. He doesn't fight my momentum, he rides it. I appreciate that the soldier is like, no, man, buddy, I already made a new plan. I saw your plan, and I made my plan, which takes your plan into account. Immediately shifts the center of gravity, driving an E-pad deep into my lower torso. I appreciate, by the way, this action is actually sticking to, like, the gun points. It is not doing... Like, yeah, this is over-describing it, but I appreciate it. It's like a fun little... Oh, shit, wait a minute. It's a fun... Like, your brain stops because you realize shit's fucked up. Like, we're not over-describing, like, some stupid action sequences. It's just a character fights another guy, and it's got nice and snappy. The suit squeaks a warning, a sharp beat that's drowned out by the agonizing compression of my ribs. Man, this suit has shit armor value. Using my own leverage against me, he rips his wrist from my grip in a brutal twist, before I can bring my arms to defend myself. His boot pins my right arm flat on the floor, while his free arm slams into my throat, cutting on my air supply in an instant. I claw wildly at his arm with my one free hand, trying to buck him off again, but he doesn't budge. Just die. A muffled, static-laced voice. Why is it static-laced? Like, I feel the only reason they did that in the game is because the audio quality was shit, and they had to compress it, or something. But I don't think they're actually talking through static. They wear masks. You hear them through masks, not fucking speakers. Growl to the respirator. Like, the reason you hear them like this is probably, like, it's supposed to be like you don't know who's actually talking, but you're hearing the radios, no matter what. Maybe it is that Gordon can hear their radios. He leans his full body weight into the chokehold. The chip of the combat knife slowly lowering down. Rest against a thin, flexible joint armor. My vision began to swim the harsh overhead Lights. Bleeding into the dark, creeping static condition my sight matching. I'm impressed that after all the fucking shooting you did, this is what does it. I pressed up against his arm with everything I had left, straining until my vision went red, but his grip was absolute steel. The fire in my lungs turning into a cold, numbing panic as there's a... Why are we doing this fucking Call of Duty ass? Press F to survive. Bang. It's only I can breathe. Taking the grasping breath only. The world's suddenly coming back around to me as my muddled brain pieces together what's happening. The soldier falls to the ground, hissing in pain as he holds his profusely bleeding shoulder. His weapon falls onto the ground next to my head before he follows suit. Oh, he falls onto the ground, you mean. Not hesitating for a second, take the falling and blindly jam it forward. It connects with a sickening squish. I feel it more be like a tear, considering he's wearing clothing and has skin. Soldier falls limp with an arousing thud. Dude, that man is alive for a while unless you jam him into his neck. Or into his brains directly. Like, he's going to sit there for a couple of seconds bleeding out before he actually dies. He will be there, powerless, worried, and, like, terrified. My hands work over the sore bits of my body as I lay over there for a second, catching my breath, wondering what the hell happened. I should be dead, he had me. Why the hell am I alive? I'm left in a painful pile, heaving air, my body, while my muddled thoughts are to put together everything, at least until I hear it. Shaky breaths fill the otherwise dead halls. This should have been Olivia's first kill, not the other one. I mean, that guy might still be alive, and I get it, you're trying to build up to it, but I feel like this should have just been the first kill. It's an emergency situation, she has no choice. She doesn't get to warm up to it. It's just like, no, you are killing this man because you have to. It's not my own. My suit creaks as I slowly sit up and turn my head to follow the noise, squarely landing on the soldier's other assailant. Olivia sits there shivering like a twig. Why would a twig shiver? Like, twigs shake because they're on a tree, but they don't shiver. Trees don't move like that. The literal smoking gun rattling in her claws. Man, it's firm grip, firm grip. As she stares up at me, or well next to me, looking at the bloody shoulder at my side, my brain puts two and two together. Shit. See, this is a good shit or fuck or oh no. Because the italics imply that it's more than just a flat statement. Which I know is the point, but... Jesus fucking Christ. Did someone actually try to solve a puzzle in Leaf's Odyssey by literally exploring all possible spaces? Damn, what is wrong with this guy? Props for trying, but like, you could at least narrow your possibility space before you start doing that. Guilt suddenly grips my mind as I look back to the poor girl. I try my best to ignore the growing pit in my stomach and the pain of my everything. I slowly get up to my feet and tiptoe out of the line of her bare... Thankfully that her aim had drifted down. He doesn't move, only heaving more and more panicked breaths as I slowly walk over and look over her. Over. Oh, man, with all these soldiers, there's so much overing happening. There's a small cut on her cheek. I really like, by the way, that blast pit is what comes after We've Got Hostiles. Because We Got Hostiles is a couple of really fast firefights against humans and turrets. And blast pit doesn't have any soldiers. It's a lot more back to the monsters. You know, you're like, oh, thank God, it's just fucking bull squids. Thank goodness it's this tentacle monster in a fire pit. And that's so much easier than those fuckers. Her cheek... God damn it, I just realized. Yeah, I was quite a ways into blast pit. Oh, that's going to be annoying to catch up if I can get it to work. There's a small cut on her cheek and a few scraps running along her arms. Thankfully, she's otherwise okay. Mercifully, it seems whoever did the shoot, be it Olivia or the soldier, missed. Finally, her eyes rapidly blink as they flick over and up at me. Why didn't she just roll off the conveyor belt? That feels like such an easy and obvious answer. So, Gordon, I'm sorry. I didn't... The choked breath catches at her throat as she presses her palm against my head and looks back down at the dead body. I was too slow. I accidentally pulled the trigger. I lost my gun. I fell, and I was going to... The gloved hand flicks between us, cutting off her remnants. I think this is the point where this is the point where you grab someone by the snout, right, and just cram it shut. The air between us falls silent to look at each other. I mouth out, thank you. I feel like lip reading isn't something that is Olivia's skill set. So I know what you're trying to do there, buddy. Getting a surprised look from Olivia. It was a genuine message. Unlike all the times I was consistently lying and being insincere with her. I'd actually be dead without her. I mean, I feel like you'd be fine without her because you wouldn't have fallen and you would have just traversed that thing and Olivia would have alerted the guard and you would have just had a firefight, right? Plus, it's me trying to calm her down. Thankfully, the word seems to soothe her, if only slightly. Her whole body seems to relax. It finally dawns on her that I'm okay at last. I look over while she lets out a heavy sigh and runs a hand through her green, messy hair. Oh, she's wearing the helmet. Whatever. I'm just glad that she's okay. Just kiss already. Oh, no, wait, you're an adult. Don't do that. Don't do that again, idiot. She verbally pokes, giving a small nod. Crap, I just shot a guy again. Wait, again? Wait, hold up, Olivia. What do you mean you're catching up to me in body count? We can't have that. Olivia remains quiet as I lower us down past the rows of lasers. It's a really weird segment. I think you're supposed to throw some grenades down there or something. At the very least, you can use your angles to hit him without getting hit. Thankfully, the small passage grants access to circumvent the array of defenses. How much further we have left? I don't know. All I can hope is not too much. The only real thing we can do is move forwards. Carefully slipping past a haphazardly set of mines. Again, they're not really mines. The laser, I guess they are mines, laser trip mines, but they're not landmines, which is what I was mad about. Around the corner, into another vast section of the warehouse. Several dozen walkways, pipes, cranes, and lights snake above. A little voice in the back of my head screams, guiding me to settle up and take cover behind a few of the boxes. Oh yeah, I think this is like the last big fight, right? Part of me debates having Olivia dismount again, but I can't do that right now. She has to stay with me. There's no way I'm only gonna hit this. Dude, can't you get her a gun? I feel like she has like a couple of bullets left, and you're kind of pinched right now. Paranoidly panic pays off. Sound a voice start to filter from the open room up ahead. A rifle clatters against my chest as I bring it up. Isn't this where you see this the two Isn't this where the two scientists run and they get shot? Also, those engineer guys they mentioned last time were just scientists, but you know they don't have anything for that. I think I hear soldiers. Wait, those don't sound like TOC. This is Romeo 2-4 for scheduled chicken. Over. Over. The sudden crackle of radio ahead gives me all the signs I need. Now those are soldiers. Time to catch up on Olivia. I need to stay 1 to 10 minimum. Apparently, all the prompting the hush voices need. Before I even get a chance to blink, these guys do just run out. And there is an angle you can get one of the soldiers and start to fight with you and save them, but man, it's involved. Shouting and screaming out to the soldiers trying to get their attention. I'll hold a hand out, despite knowing that they won't even stop if they saw me. My stomach drops as Olivia and I watch helplessly as they get gunned down in the middle of the room. Wait, as they come to a stop in the middle of the room, looking around for their assumed survivors. A sudden hail of gunfire. I feel like hail and roar should not be in the same sentence like this. Like bears down works better because then it's like the hail bears down on someone, so it's like a hail of gunfire bearing down on them instead of roaring, because like that sound and hail is not associated with roaring. One of the poor bastards instantly turned to a bloody mess, while the other, miraculously somehow isn't hit, starts running like a chicken with his head cut off and screaming bloody murder. Which in this case is technically true. Every bone in my body watches on in a tight, coiled anger. Mixed with the horror as I watch the scientist skitter about. Somehow, don't describe him as skittering. That's so rude. That's an insulting thing to say someone is doing. He's helplessly like running around or dodging or like trying something. Skittering is mean. That's like insect things. It takes a second for me to realize, much to my horror, that the soldiers are playing around with him. It's the sound of muffled laughter as echoes out ahead. Dance, nerd, dance! A stray gunshot lands at a scientist and emphatically runs back and forth to find some sort of cover. Okay, so I think we skipped. So in Black Mesa, there's a section where you go past the grating, and it's like that. You look down, and you were there a little bit ago, and they have like a sign like, "Man, these guys are fucking stupid, right? Is anyone of them going to give me a real fight?" You know, they get kind of mad and they're like mocking, and I think that's supposed to like make you less sympathetic to them. Like I said, I think you shouldn't. I like it because it does give. Again, dehumanizing bullies. I feel Half-Life goes too far, but it doesn't have the space to really explore the concept. I like Black Mesa is at least pointing it out, right? Like, it at least takes it from these are people doing a job to these are people that are doing a job and they like it a little bit too much. Please, take me with you. I'm the one man who knows everything. Why the fuck would those morons run out of here? Out there. Olivia softly hissed behind before pounding on my back. Help him! A command rings true in my brain. Felt not the smartest thing to do, but I'm not going to let any more of my people die down here. That, of course, being white men. Dude, what the fuck? I'm healed! Yeah, we're going to talk about that after we're done shooting. The plastic of my rifle clicks against my chest. I feel like plastic doesn't click, it clacks. Against my chest as I bring it up, my boots creak soft and clack softly as soft as I can muster, as I rush towards another Syria box. Use the ninja method. And I try to get a good angle on the soldiers. To my growing despair, the scientist falls to the ground, bawling like a baby and looking over the soldiers. Oh. Why are we doing this? Is this in the game? I know I've been here, but I don't think I ever let this play out. Maybe that's what's going on. This might be in the game. Why are you doing this? You're supposed to be helping us. Oh, geez, Miller, just put this guy out of his misery already. Shut the fuck up! I killed a dozen of these boring shitheads. At least let me get some enjoy. I appreciate that we've moved the sequence here. Because in the game, it's fine because you have to move places because it's a video game space. This is role-playing technology. You can just teleport wherever the hell the scene needs to take place. So I do appreciate that we've combined this with another event, right? Like, we've compressed... Author has used compressed storytelling. He's taken two events that are technically kind of doing the same thing and smushed them together so that it's one dense event. It's still a little bit overwritten, but I like the tension of the scene. Like, there's actual fucking tension of, like, is Gordon gonna do it? Is he gonna make a move? Why is he holding back? There's so much here. I like it. Fuck! Why is this the one good fic? It's a fucking crossover with Half-Life. My eyes narrow as a sudden flare of movement above catch my attention. Two pairs of boots peer through a small crack between the catwalk seat. Who the fuck designed it like that, anyway? It's in both games, if I recall correctly. Bringing out my rifle, I pull the iron sights to my eyes and carefully center them on my targets. The soldier, at least one of them, continues to shoot at the poor scientist to make his life a living hell. Oh, come on! Why'd you stop dancing, motherfucker? All the poor guy can do is collapse down and cover his head with his hands, crying out incoherent babbles. The man is literally having a mental breakdown. Please. All right, that's it. I'm bored. You made me bored. Olivia, why did you have to fucking ruin this? Now's my chance to take a deep rest myself. You're using an MP5. It's not an accuracy weapon, as far as I know. Except machine guns are meant for targeted, but they're not meant for, like, snipe shots. Steady. Come on, you skinny fucks! Why don't you pick on someone your own size? I'm fat! Do you get it? When do we switch to Olivia? Okay, it's not too much further. Olivia's sudden vocal roar causes me to miss. Fuck! I snapped my head back, sending as powerful gaze as I can muster at the stupid teenager. It looked back wide-eyed, only just now realizing a mistake. I'll have to deal with this later. Realizing I'm in a bad spot, I hurriedly rush forward to the next set of tall boxes. Hope it gives me the angle I was looking for. Shit! We got contact! Squad, close width! All around me, the sound of heavy boot falls against concrete, and metal start to mix in a tornado of noise. They one by one conjoin with the sounds of guns ready and orders being given. Sudden sparks of bullets bouncing off. The thankfully metallic cover forces me back. They're right there! Someone shouts out, no doubt ordering to see in my high visibility suit. I appreciate that we're calling out that he is extraordinarily visible. Crap! It's him! The orange suit guy! It's Orange Suit Man! Da 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 da. Orange Man, Gordon Freeman Man. And they recognize me. Perfect. I don't feel like that changes anything. I feel they were going to shoot you anyway. A sudden flurry of movement in my side catches my gaze. To my immediate realization, I think it's very weird that they would recognize you and not be on any kind of alert. You are not that far from where you had this firefight. Shouldn't they be at least a little aware? The sudden flurry of movement off to my side catches my gaze. To my immediate realization and immense relief, the scientist from earlier scrambles to his feet, awkwardly stumbling away from his initial peril. Happy as I am, I go back to my current predicament as a spray of bullets pass overhead. A stream of roaring gunfire suddenly thunders above my head. I instinctively duck down before... Olivia, what the hell? My ears! Come on, man! It's just like the game. It's just like the arcade game. Just like the arcade game. How many bullets does she have left? She frantically repeats to herself loudly for me to hear. I glance back confused, but a spray of bullets snaps my thought back to the task at hand. Oh yeah, I'm being shot at. Who knew? The teenager keeps himself pressed tightly against my back, blindly pointing the pistol over the lip of our cover and aimlessly throwing lead towards the soldier's rough direction. Part of me wants to scold her for such a blatant waste of ammo, but at the same time, her fire is just enough of a suppressing effect to keep the enemy from making a move. I feel like keeping them down isn't right. It's stopping them from making too far of an advance. A bad shot is still a bullet heading your way, and bullets move too quickly. You can't dodge them, which is why you want to stay out of the fire lines. Deciding now's the time, I take advantage of the Gator's suppressive fire and rush over as fast as I can. Sudden movement gets a yelp out of the girl, stopping her equally crazed and inaccurate fire. There are like 17 bullets in that thing, so that could be a decent amount left. Earlier in the fight, it says, I hear the soldiers start shouting orders at each other. Their boot falls against metal catwalks above me, echoing throughout the warehouse. Squad, close with! I think there's two of them! Something strange in the back of my mind as I throw myself in a confused stack of sandbags. Oh, he's got up there. Isn't there normally a dude there? I guess we're changing the fight because it is a bit of a weird, spread-out fight, which in book terms is a little harder to work with. The fact that no, it's just me worries me. Still, it doesn't change the ultimate fact of the matter. Keep her alive, reach the surface, find Barney, teleport out. Oof. Where were we? Harshly muttered swears bubble up behind me, stealing my attention. Let's take a different song. Man, why does Rainbow have good sexy soundtracks for shit's about to go down? Olivia's green hand feverishly works her gun. Bullet awkwardly sticking out in a way it's not supposed to from the top. What the hell? I can't get it out. She trying her damnedest. You jammed it, you idiot! Waving hand, I signal for her to just ditch the gun, but another crack of gunfire cuts off my message. Oddly, this one doesn't sound anywhere close. Suddenly, a white-jacketed form walks just in from the corner of my vision. Twinge of fury sparks in my chest, and another one shot down in cold blood. I mentally kick myself, cursing another death at my hands. Despite the textured cloth of sandbags feeling odd against my cheek, I press myself as closely against it as when another round strikes nearby. In my effort to conceal the two of us, I accidentally shift one of the bags over, getting the perfect angle for an unsuspecting Marine messing with his rifle. Bang. Oh, he's moving the sandbag to get an angle. Singular shot cracks out of my rifle in a heartbeat, thankfully meeting its mark and sending a soldier in a bloody gurgle. Okay, so in the game, by the way, these soldiers can take quite a few bullets, which is game balance. I appreciate that in this, we are like, no, if you get shot with a bullet and you don't have armor, you're fucked. It hurts like hell, and you will. Like, there's a reason why Gordon having fucking morphine in his suit is a massive superpower. Pain is a huge issue when you're fighting. Also, bleeding is an issue, especially if your adrenaline's running high, because you will fight past the point where you can stop the bleeding reasonably. Fuck, Miller! Miller! The screams echo from around the room, carries more emotion than I was expecting from the otherwise cold-blooded killers. Enough to make me briefly pause as another soldier runs over and crouches next to him. Corporal! My sights perfectly fall on the Marine's torso. All I do is pull the trigger. Corbin! Corbin! Soldier desperately screams, trying to pick him up and drag the limp Marine. Nobody left behind! In the blink of an eye, the whole world starts moving in slow motion. Every single sense feels tenfold. You're playing the way that Freeman's Mind is. So Freeman's Mind, right, is a cool series, and it's recorded. I think it's recorded by, like, slowing the game down by a bajillion% so that it works really well. Also, I think his computer sucks, so it's just a thing, and he speeds it up or whatever. It's the way I heard it described is that it's a madman setup. Every single movement's like a snail's crawl. Gordon? Olivia hisses behind me, no doubt noticing my hesitation, feeling her breath on the back of my head, and hands tighting on the HV shoulder, using unintentional strength to the argument. Pat-pats of power. Muscles of my arm coil spring tight as I make my choice. My rifle barks its roar of vengeance, sending the corporal down to join his brother in arms. I mean, they're more bleeding out than anything else. After a total brain-dead idiot, says Olivia as we switch POVs. Not to notice where Gordon hesitated. I mean, it felt like it lasted forever, only for him to end up shooting the guy anyway. Why'd he even win in the first place? Because Gordon's a human! And these people are being human! Like, what part of it's once you kill someone, you never sleep, or you sleep like a baby, right? Like, you have to justify a lot. The guy would have wanted to kill us anyway. It's kill or be killed down here. Stop. Get out of here, Flowey. And that's not even me trying to sound cliche. Besides, I don't even know what it feels like right now. The crazed look of the soldier kneeling down on Gordon. It just had to do it. He wore a mask. What crazed look? He wore a mask. If I didn't shoot him, he'd kill Gordon. And probably me. It doesn't take a retard to know these soldiers aren't here to be our heroes, or to lend a helping hand, or the people that help the troop.